Coast. Welcome to Smart Living. So today we've got an impromptu podcast with Joe Ducey, who you guys probably know him back in the day, ABC 15 investigative reporter. Now he's with the Better Business Bureau with Joe Knows Better. So he's all about promoting consumer protection, preventing scams, all of it. So you guys should tune in and watch him. He's got some pretty good content.
JoeKnowsBetter.com.
So Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to see you down here. Yeah. We worked together for how many years?
Oh my gosh, for like 12 years.
This is heard us talk about this before.
All right.
A long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we often do podcasts once in a while, usually about the same topics.
Yeah.
It's about our not so favorite president once in a while, politics.
I'm not going to say a word about that.
We won't. What we're talking about today is scams. So I teach an anti-scam workshop throughout the Valley. I teach in a lot of retirement communities.
Yeah.
And every time I teach the class, which is every couple of months, I have to go back and look at the curriculum because these scams are getting more and more and more sophisticated, and you're on top of it. So can you tell me a little bit about what are some common scams going on, especially the ones where they're phishing? The phishing scams are the scariest one.
The phishing scams. You mean the ones where they're like emailing or texting and saying, the big one recently has been that toll text scam.
Yes.
You owe a toll. You drove in wherever, they didn't say anymore, like California or whatever, and they say that you didn't pay. And they're threatening legal action. And this came right after spring break. So a lot of Arizonans had been in California driving on toll roads probably and said, well, maybe I didn't pay. I could owe this amount of money. So you got to click on a link. You click on the link and you can either get a virus on your computer or pay money that you don't owe. And they've gotten so bad now that they're actually saying ADOT, AZDOT, Department of Transportation. We don't have toll roads. We don't have toll roads, people. So if you get something from Arizona, you don't have to pay it because so they've been doing this around the country. It's been taking a lot of money. That's one scam. And so I would say about those kinds of things, I never click on links in text. I never click on links in emails. Well, in the past, and they still do it, you get something from, I don't know, say that you bought something from Amazon. And if you didn't, call this number. So it used to be, hey, we're going to redo your McAfee prescription or subscription, right? That kind of thing. And if you do that, then they're going to scam you. Now they're saying you bought something, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I might have.
Right.
Well, I'm going to call these guys, or you don't do that. What you need to do is go into your account and see if there's an issue. Don't rely on any email that comes in, even like B of A or Wells Fargo. I'm always concerned about those things. If I got an account with them, I go into my account and find out if there's an issue, if I think there might be. If I don't have an account with them, it doesn't affect me.
Right. So one of the things I always say to people who take my workshop is they're coming to you trying to get information. So if your bank is coming to you asking for information, or which is a scammer, if you didn't solicit your bank, then don't respond to that. Go to your bank, call the number that you know is your bank number, and reach out to them and say, hey, did you reach out to me? And they'll let you know. So don't reach out to people.
Exactly.
You confirm the reach out. You keep that environment under control.
And they need to know your information. There's one other thing that came up recently. We just did something about travel scams. I was looking because spring break and all and summer coming up. I thought, let me look at BBB Scam Tracker, which is actually a great place to go because you can see all the scams that are going on in your area. And I was looking at travel scams, and it ended up being not necessarily related to travel, but they were under travel scams because, all right, what's going on here is travelers are calling, they're having problems with their reservations for hotels and for flights and those kinds of things. And they're looking for customer service numbers. And they're doing it by getting their phone, hey, whoever, I don't even do this, but it's like, give me American Airlines. Or they're looking online and they're seeing the first thing that pops up and they're clicking on it. Scammers have learned how to be at the top of those searches. Serious? So they're getting they think they're getting American Airlines and they're getting somebody pretending to be American Airlines.
So how do you know you're getting American Airlines? You
don't, unless the way to do it is, first of all, don't ask for customer service through your phone. You need to see what's going on here. Don't necessarily go to the first thing that you see. Look for the web address. If it's AA.com, that's American Airlines, right? Go into your account if you have an account. If you do, then you need to go into your phone and find out if there's an issue with your, or contact customer service through those known places, not the others. People get scammed out of thousands of dollars.
Wow, that's really uncomfortable. That's scary.
And it could be customer service. That could be with any industry, but just so happened I saw them with these travel scams. But it could be anything. Looking for a customer service number, when you're looking for it, just make sure you're getting to the right place.
So these scammers have figured out SEOs, you know, how to do your Google ranking.
Yeah.
That is really scary because that's one of the things I tell people is do a Google search.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's tough. So they're probably putting in the words they know how to use, like American or United or Southwest, and then so they kind of get up and up at the top, and those are the first ones that come up, and people don't. And when you're on the phone, you're not even really looking at it,
right?
You know, you just gotta. So that's the key when you talked before about going into your account, finding people out. You know, if you've got an account with American Airlines or whatever, contact them through their contact us portal, or whatever it is. That's the way to do it. Not just trust.
And if somebody calls you, like says, "Hey, I'm with Bank of America," you know, your account's been you tell that person on the phone, "Hey, I'm gonna hang up and call you back."
Yeah.
And then go to your Bank of America in the back of your credit card and call that number and be like, "Hey, did you guys reach out to me?" That really is the best way that you control the environment and make sure that nobody scams you.
What you just said is the key, controlling your environment. Because when you get a call or you get somebody coming to the door or you get a text, the problem is when you react, right? The problem is when you react. And if you don't have anybody there to talk to and run an idea by, call somebody.
Right.
Say, "Hey, I got this call about, don't react to the person there. If you really think there could be, talk to somebody about like, "Hey, I just got this thing." That person's going to be like, "Oh, that's a scam."
Right.
You know, so you kind of get in your head like, "Oh yeah, maybe it probably is a scam." You know, I probably need to think twice before I do whatever it is.
Snopes.com is always my point of reference. I mean, they've been around since the 90s when I was reporting as a technology reporter. They're unbiased. And so I'll just type in the search bar like, "Do you know what you did?" Even to put away propaganda.
Yeah.
I was looking at something about Elon the other day, and Snopes, they show you both sides of it. So show you like, here's what the rumor is.
Yeah.
Here are the receipts showing you that these are the facts. So it's a very good, solid place for a point of reference. Also, the Better Business Bureau is also, like you're saying, better bbb.org/scammers.
Yeah.
That is often a point of reference. I use in my class.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great website for keeping up that. Also, the FTC, the federaltrade.gov, which I will say, with our current government, I don't know what they're going to be taking down, but right now the FTC.gov.
Federal Trade Commission is a great place to go. Yeah, because Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is not really around right now, but Federal Trade Commission is. BBB.org is a good place to go. The reason I like BBB.org, not just because I work there, but you've been involved with them for even as a reporter.
I love the Better Business Bureau.
Reporter. It's a great place to go because the reviews are genuine. They don't take them down, and they're free for consumers to look at and see the complaints against the business or do whatever, and then find an accredited business that went through the extra steps that they have to go through to be a trusted.
Yes, because I even had to be vetted for my business.
Yeah.
Smart Shopper Daphne LLC. So I had to go through the vetting in order to be an accredited business with the BBB. So great point of reference. Okay, really quick, Joe, I know you're going to say something. But before we get off on the scams, what I want to ask you is, what happens? What should somebody do if they do click on the link? So if I do, I didn't realize, like I get a text that says, "Hey, bank alert, click on this link," and I click on it. What do I do? And I realize, oh my God, what do you do?
I think the two things that can happen, sometimes nothing can happen. Other times, either it can release some kind of virus or malware on whatever instrument you're using, or they're going to ask for more information. They want your credit card information or those kinds of things. One you have control over. You don't have to give them that information a little bit. The other one you really don't. Malware. So what I would do is I would be concerned. I think what I would do is update my security on my whatever instrument it is. I would go there to see if there's an issue, because sometimes that could be done, and I'd make sure I'd have a scan done. If you're really concerned about it, if you start noticing things that are going, like when your computer's kind of off or something, that's when I would take it in and have a look, make sure that nothing's happening. But I think that's if you go further than that, and you think they're really, they've got your information or something, then, you check your credit bureau before you do all those things, you freeze your reports so that you get it and all that.
And that's another important thing. So a lot of people aren't aware that freezing your credit is a free thing that all 3 credit bureau agencies provide. And that absolutely protects you, because once your stuff, most American stuff is on the dark web. I mean, even I've been hacked. I think it was one of the credit bureaus was hacked years ago. So,
it was.
So I think every American's information is out there on the dark web. That's why you're getting solicited to get scammed, because they're trying to get more information from it. But the one thing that you can do is, you don't want these scammers to get a hold of your credit report and start applying for credit under your name. So freeze it. Right. Every consumer should know to freeze it.
And if you're looking,
and it's free.
And it means though that if you're looking for credit, like you're buying a car or something, they're going to want to check your report. So you can put it's called a thaw. You could put a thaw on it. And you can have a date. So you can thaw it for 2 days.
Right.
You can thaw it for 3 days. So in other words, you give people access for 3 days while you're buying or shopping, and then it goes back
And then
to
you
a
close it
freeze.
down.
Yeah. So it's a really easy thing.
And that is a really great way to protect yourself.
And annualcreditreport.com is also a really good place to look. This is a site that was set up by the government, kind of basically forcing the credit bureaus to say, hey, you got all these people's information and you're using it to make money. You need to do something for them.
Right.
So they set up, and it's a .com, which makes you think, oh, it's a scam. No, annualcreditreport.com. It used to be that you could get your credit report there every so often. Now you can get unlimited
Oh,
reports
really? 'Cause
anytime.
it used to be like once a year.
Yeah. Now I think they still have it where they did during COVID. I think it's free now from each of the 3 credit bureaus. You can get a look at your credit report. It's really interesting. You don't get your credit score. You have to pay for that. Your credit report could tell you if anybody's tried to, like, I never had an account with,
Yes. That's
Macy's. And there's somebody open an account in my name. Now I have to be concerned. I file a report and do all that stuff. So it's really good to look at and see kind of anything that doesn't look good on your report.
Okay.
Annualcreditreport.com. Well, if you want to talk about more scam, let me know. But I know you have things you want to say, but I got another interesting one.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's one going on right now. It's kind of interesting. And it's going on from people in our area, but also there is, I think, a business in our area, which we're looking into that's doing it, but we'll talk more about that hopefully in the future. But anyway, it's called brushings.
Mm-hmm.
And a brushing scam, I think, is basically it's third-party sellers try to brush up reviews products. What they do is they create a fake order.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a package delivered to an address that they found online. And the unsuspecting person gets this thing. It's like, I didn't order a brush, a pet toy, a blood pressure monitor, a small cheap bracelet, a towel, whatever. There's very small items. The third-party seller sees that it was delivered and now writes a review in the person's name, giving it 5 stars. Gives the product 5-star reviews.
Okay.
It's happening a lot. I looked at the list of people. It's like, I got this thing. I got this comb. I got this thing. I didn't order this. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. It's likely a brushing scam. These third-party sellers are trying to increase the writing 5-star reviews in some unsuspecting person's name.
Right.
And then the product gets these great reviews online, and people are being led to these products that aren't that great. And you think, okay, well, in a way, it could be a victimless crime because you can't keep unordered deliveries.
Right.
You have a right by law to keep that money. If you didn't order it, you can keep it. But somebody knows some information about it, right? How do they have your address? What else do they know about it?
Right.
And secondly, these fake reviews are leading people to
buy purchase things. Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. And I think if that happens to you, I'd like to know about it first, johnnosbetter.com. And then, but also FTC, BBB, scam tracker, just warn people it's going on because it seems like it's happening a lot. And I think people are confused. Like, I don't know, what's going on there?
Right.
It's too bad they're not expensive gifts, like, a little gold bar or something.
But I'm
it's
just sitting here going,
what a long way to go.
but I'm just like, okay, so the objective of this is bad, but I'm just thinking about the thought process. What genius on that. I mean, if some of these criminals could take some of they're geniuses, some of them, right? They could take it and put it into good work. That'd be great. Okay. I also wanted to, while I have you here, I want to also have you just take a minute and explain to folks, what are you doing with the Better Business Bureau now? You've left ABC 15, what is it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, about a year now.
Retired from that wonderful job, wonderful career, and moved on to the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you doing for them here?
Well, my title is the Associate Vice President of Investigative Outreach. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but it basically what I'm trying to do is do the same thing I kind of done most of my career, and that's try to help consumers stay away from bad business practices and scams by warning them about these things going on. Now that, I used to do it in the news media, now I'm doing it with the Better Business Bureau by many times using good accredited businesses in industries where there could be fraud, used cars, solar, moving. What else? Just a lot. But industries where consumers have issues, like I got scammed by a solar company. I bought a used car, it broke down. My moving company held my stuff hostage.
Right.
Those industries find the good businesses that do it right and say to them, hey, I'm hiring a moving company. How do I do it? What's the proper way to do it? What's a red flag? If I hire a moving company, they say they need blah, blah, blah up front. Is that bad? Should I pay? Oh, you should never pay that up front. We just did one with about lenders with Desert Financial. And I had the woman in here and I said, people are getting scammed online by advance fee loans. It's like, oh, you should never have to pay it. So illegal to charge this amount. So there are things that people should know when they're making common purchases, how to stay away from the bad stuff. And then I'm warning them. So that's done with podcasts through joeknowsbetter.com. And also on that website, we're putting out through social media. I'm doing a couple videos, like I think 6 videos a month about warning people about the various scams we just talked about. Kind of letting people know that, hey, this thing's going on. So basically pointing out the scam and then what you can do to avoid it.
Okay, actionable items.
Yeah, actionable items. I always thought was what I was doing before and also now, it's one thing to try to help somebody once they've had the issue, but it's so much better when it was let Joe know. It was like not to have to let Joe know. We kept them from having that issue. They learned, one thing caught in their head, like, oh, I've heard about this before. No, I'm not going to talk to you about this. Oh, you're not my grandson.
Right, yes.
Or whatever it is. Or that's kind of stuff that I love.
You're one of the greatest consumer advocates that we've had here in the Valley.
Yeah,
think about how much money you save people.
Yeah, as long as, I just, and I've been scammed myself. I mean, it happens, it's embarrassing, but it happens because and they're very questionable things too. Like things come up. I'm just not sure. Yesterday or 2 days ago, my wife and I both first of all, I got one. And it was you bought a $1,499 Mac Pro through Amazon. Just want to make sure that this large purchase was yours or something. Well, you can easily go to Amazon. In this case, so I did. My wife got the same text. So I'm thinking, now that's weird. If I got it, those things just go out like this.
Right.
But why did we both get it? I mean, because we're related. We have the same accounts. We have the same Amazon account. How do they get both of our phone numbers? Why are we both getting this? It turned out just to be a scam. And I don't know how they related, but that's the kind of thing where I'm like, this is
You're probably
weird.
on the dark web.
This is weirder than both of us.
Yeah.
And it'd be like you and your daughter or you and, but are getting the same. This is wild.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the kind of stuff that makes you think, well, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, we live in a very interesting world. It's interesting because I've never thought that social media was a sustainable thing. When I left ABC 15, people were like almost criticizing me of like, why didn't you take that brand and blow it up on social media? Yeah. Because I never felt social media was sustainable because you have somebody controlling who sees your stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be, and then now and then it was a point where they would you'd have to pay money to advertise so your stuff could be seen. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I feel that if people want to see your content, they should have access to it and shouldn't have to pay to see it and they should be free to see it. Yeah. So I just remember I felt like I was really, struggling with that because Smart Shopper was a great brand for that station. Yeah. But now that we're moving forward in the world that we're living in and we have the tech bros kind of in control of this country on some level. Like Elon Musk, he owns one of the social media platforms. Mark Zuckerberg was at the inauguration of Donald Trump. So, there you go. Well, but I'm just saying, so part of social media right now, it's a scam. And there's a lot of bots on there. That's another thing that's a scam.
I think it is.
It is a worm from bottom feeders to come up and destroy the world. Well,
I think the scams. What's interesting is that a lot of the scams are the same as they've been 20 years ago. It's just they found new avenues.
Yes.
And the avenue they found that really is paying off is social media.
Yeah.
And I get so many people who get scammed on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because they're trust whatever's there, and then they link and they get a product, don't get a product, and spend all this money on it. So I think that's a huge platform. It's not regulated. Do you want to regulate it? But it's just, I think we have to approach from the other side. If you're not getting protected, you need to protect yourself.
Right.
Right. So that's what we're trying to do here. I think it's what you've been doing. It's what I've been trying to do. And that's listen, this stuff's going to be thrown at you, but this is what you need to do to kind of keep it from hitting. That's.
And I worry about people who are retired, who are not so much up to par on what's going on in the world. And that's one of the reasons why I go out of my way to teach this anti-scam cost retirement community so they can have the tools to protect themselves.
It's interesting. If you end up talking to scams, if we do a podcast, the one about calling scammers, and it's interesting because once you start talking to these people, I don't advise you do this because you could get roped in. These guys are really good. But if you know that you're going after these guys because they have numbers where they've scammed people and you're calling them back, then it's fun to talk with them because
you did on your
they
podcast.
quickly go from, it's interesting to see how they go from the fake $7 million I won and the Mercedes Benz I won and all this stuff to once you question them, bam, they turn.
Yeah.
And then the swear words that come out and the body parts they talk about and all this stuff. That's who these people are. You know,
bottom feeders.
They're bottom feeders. And those are the people who are desperate, I think, and they're coming at you doing any way they can to try to get you to pay off. And they know what they're doing. So it's tough.
If you would, hey, scammers out there, if you would take that level of intelligence that you have and connivingness and use that to benefit society, that would be fantastic.
That would
Joe, thanks for coming on and educating us. I always appreciate your time.
Love you, as you know, so it's
Right.
great.
Yes, same here. Okay, so if you guys want to catch Joe, I'll have all the information on my blog at smartshopperdaphne.com. And I'll see you guys next time on Smart Living or possibly on social media. And as always, don't forget, I'm Daphne Monroe, your smart shopper.